Hmm. I have a question for you people. Are you ready for that other time of year where it is, it's around the time to once again bear witness to the fitness of the one warrior? And there go, boom, another hit has landed. Well, if you're not, then you're going to get hit and you're going to get knocked out. I'm sorry for all the awkward pauses. Anyway, my point is The Ultimate Fighter is back, Season 26, a new world champion. It's, like with the past few seasons, it's a unique one because it's the first one to feature exclusively female flyweight fighters. That's a very interesting sentence to say all in a row. The coaches are Eddie Alvarez, a former UFC lightweight champion, and Justin Gaethje, who made his debut at the at last season's finale event. And he did a good job, extended his lead. He's got a perfect record, so it'll be interesting to see him put that against Eddie Alvarez, who was a former lightweight champion in the UFC. So, yeah. And you know what? First episode is just called a New World Champion. And the tournament is also called a New World Champion. I think they did this last season. I'm going to look at that really quick. See the Ultimate Fighter Redemption. Yep, the first episode was called Redemption. And in Tournament of Champions, the first episode was called The Tournament Begins. So, bit of a theme, but you know what? It works. And once again, for the, I think it was like the third time in a row, I want to say. Might be a bit more. We didn't have fights to get into this because all these women were already established flyweight competitors in different promotions, MMA promotions across the world. And the fighters are, and I will name them and give you their seeds, not literally. On Team Alvarez, Roxanne Modafferi, number 1, Emily Wetmeyer, number 8, Maya Stevenson, number 5, Karine Gevorgian, number 13, Gillian Robertson, number 15, Rachel Ostovich-Burden, number 10, Montana Stewart at number 6, and Nico Montana at number 14. For Team Gaethje, Shayna Dobson at number 16, Christina Marks at number 9, Sergio Eubanks at number 12, Deanna Bennett at number 4, Bob Honchak at number 2, Melinda Fabian at number 7, Montana Stewart at number 6, and... Montana Stewart for Team Alvarez. Oh shit, the blue ones. I have to redo that. Ooh, okay. So, on Team Gaethje, I'm sorry for this. Roxanne Modafferi, number 1. Emily Wimmer, number 8. Maya Stevenson, number 5. I completely got it wrong, I got the colours wrong. Karine Gevorgian, number 13. Gillian Robertson, number 15. Rachel Ostovich-Burden, number 10. Montana Stewart, number 6. And Nico Montana, number 14. For Team Alfred, Sean Dobson, number 16. Christine Marks, number 9. Sergio Eubanks, number 12. Deanna Bennett, number 4. Barb Hunchak, number 2. Melinda Fabian, number 7. Ariel Beck, number 11. And number 3 is Lauren Murphy. Now, a couple of the names are familiar to some people. Lauren Murphy was a UFC fighter for like a year. She didn't have a good record, but, she went off, she found herself, and she came back, and she's hoping to win this tournament. The other name that's going to be familiar to some people, especially those who've watched The Ultimate Fighter with as much religiousness as I do, it's Roxanne Modafferi, who appeared 4 years ago on Season 18, which was male and female bantamweights, and it was the first time that female competitors had ever been on Ultimate Fighter season, as well as the first one to have female coaches. And Roxanne didn't really make it past the prelims well. She didn't do well in the season, but she got a lot of praise for her attitude, and she has a very positive attitude. I mean, her nickname is the Happy Warrior. And at that point, obviously, a few years ago, she was spending time in Japan. She's since moved back over to America, and she's still like a huge anime geek, and it's kind of endearing and adorable, really. She's just a really, really nice person. The kind of person I'd want to meet and give a hug. And obviously, because of the seeds, we had the fighter going against these seeds that they were compared against. So Roxanne was number 1, Shawn was number 16, and this was the first fight of the season. And Roxanne won by TKO, and despite the fact that she's a nice person, you often forget that she's actually a surprisingly good fighter. We saw that in the home videos, which have returned again, which is good. And I'll get to those in a bit. But she did a lot of outstriking of Shauna, who's definitely she's the bigger woman between the two. And I feel like that was a factor that should have been considered on Season 18, because that was for female bantamweights, and obviously this one's for flyweights. And Roxanne is a smaller flyweight. well, she was a small bantamweight at the time. I think she fits flyweight better, but I think she would do really well at strawweight maybe as well. Just a personal opinion, but yeah, she lands some really good takedowns, got some really good counter strikes off, and eventually managed to match on in near the end of the first round and got a TKO win, and secured the first win for Team Gaethje, for Team Justin. And the video packages, as I said, I was going to get them into a bit. This is now that bit. Yeah, we saw like Roxanne, talking about she was in Japan, now she's moved back to America and she's training at American Top Team, I believe. And Shana Dobson is gay, and interestingly, is the first black gay woman in the UFC. They're really breaking diversity grounds here. I mean, it all started really when they started the women's division in the first place. Well, they didn't start it. I mean, it was already started in the promotions when the UFC introduced it to their own promotion, because Dana White said years ago he'd never do it. He said it in like 2010 in a magazine I read, I think. He'd never do it. And now he's done it. It's actually proving to be fairly popular. And I don't blame it. I mean, female fighters are fucking awesome. And I'm hoping that they'll continue to prove that, because this episode was really short. There wasn't a lot to talk about, the fighters, Justin and Eddie, like that, the coin toss. I think, well, yeah, Team Justin won because he picked the first fighter, which was Roxanne. And Eddie got to pick the first fight. Actually, no, they don't pick the fights, because of how the fights are seeded, those fights are automatically set up. Roxanne was number 1, Shannon was number 16, the two went together. So, well, I guess I do want to make this video a bit longer, so I'm going to tell you the other fights planned. Emily Whitmire at number 8 will face off against Christine Marks at number 9. Whitmire's from Team Gaethje and Christina's from Team Alvarez. I'm going to name names as well. Miles Stevenson, Team Gaethje at number 5 against Ajara Eubanks, number 12 from Team Alvarez. Deanna Bennett at number 4 from Team Alvarez against Karen Gevorgian, number 13 from Team Gaethje. Bart Panchak, number 2 Alvarez against number 15 Julian Robertson from Gaethje. Numbers, I'm using the same figures. Number 7 Melinda Fabian from Team Alvarez against Team Gaethje's number 10 pick Raytler Stavich Burden. Number 6 is Montana Stewart from Team Gaethje against number 11 Team Alvarez Ariel Beck, and number 3 Lauren Murphy from Team Alvarez against number 14 Nico Montano from Team Gaethje. So those are going to be some interesting fights. I'm looking forward to actually seeing Lauren fight, because I never actually got the chance to see her in the UFC. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well she'll do. And even though there wasn't really a lot exciting about this debut, I mean, Roxanne and Shai put on a serviceable fight at least. There was a lot of drama, it seems, in the future episodes, so that's going to be really interesting. And obviously, I always look forward to these seasons because it's always fun. I love watching, I love reviewing, and I love seeing, fighters, like, whether they were on there before, if they're completely new, and I like what I see from them. Maybe they'll become champion one day, Maybe Roxanne could be the first women's flyweight champion. Maybe it could be someone else. We don't know, and that's what makes it exciting. I sounded very Simon Miller there. Anyway, pardon me. I will see you all tomorrow for the first episode of What Are Concepts. Oh yes, it's finally happening tomorrow. I did say in my UFC review yesterday that today I would either put up What Are Concepts or the Ultimate Fighter episode, Season 26, Episode 1, depending on which one happens first, if the title appeared for the episode, which it did. And it's called The New World Champion, and the tournament is called The New World Champion. Well, the series is. And the next episode is going to be called Fight, with an exclamation point, so I had to fight the urge to yell that like the Mortal Kombat announcer, which used to be Shao Kahn, but now it's someone else, and I miss the Shao Kahn version, personally. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I'll see you all tomorrow for the first episode of One Concept. What a concept. That's going to be so fun. I can't wait. I'll see you all then. Thank you for listening. You're awesome. Bye-bye.